Hello, welcome to another episode of the MTG Arena Run. Today we're going to continue our competitive constructed run with the River Heralds deck. We did reasonably well with against two decks, but we did get trounced against Mono Red. Though we did get one game off of them, so we're gonna see how well this party goes. We're going to continue. This might be our last match. We might still get more matches. We'll see how it goes. But already there's some things to recap here. One, we need to have a lot more of control elements. We cannot just simply stack creatures on top of more creatures. We have to, on one hand, we have Deep Root Waters as our go-to if ever we go against aggro. But ironically, it's also a good sideboard card in against control as well. Maybe I should just keep it in the main deck altogether. Speaking of keeping in the main deck, we got turn 1 Adventurous Impulse, so we'll be able to look at these 4 cards. So we'll probably get the land off them. We may have to play Silvergill Adept next turn. As much as I'd like to play Deeproot Elite into Adept into the River Sneak, you know this. So this is a super risky play. I'm going to keep it. Speaking of performers, I would suppose that Herald of Secret Streams is not one of our greatest performers. Okay, so you know what? I'm just gonna run this out now. Run this now. So at least we definitely guaranteed our second land, and we got Hinterland Harbor too. So we'll take that. So we didn't get penalized just yet. So now we have to decide what our turn 2 play is going to be. It's gonna really depend what our opponent plays. Sleeves Siphoner. He's gonna have. So this is a green-black pseudo control deck. Okay, let's make sure we play the forest first. So now we have to make a decision. I'm gonna play the Deeproot Elite first, since that's probably gonna. So if our opponent must kill it, which he's gonna do now. If he kills it, he's not playing another creature. Or he could just be reading the card. Let's be honest, no one really plays Deeproot Elite. Okay, so there's gonna be an energy sub-team. I do suspect we're gonna see things like Winding Constrictor here. So yeah, definitely we need to have better cards than. We cannot just keep dumping creatures on this deck. There you go, Walking Ballista. So at least on the one hand, our opponent has to play this now. And we don't have to, and he's gonna kill it now too. So actually, that's a good trade-off for us. Yeah. Okay, hold on a sec. Looks like I got a phone call. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, duty calls. I'm just gonna have to send a quick text message. I'm going to probably just play the River Sneak first at this time. Let's see, this might just eat a Fatal Push and whatnot. Can't do anything about that though. So I need. I'm going to resend this text message again. Okay, send. Yeah, just a little bit of carryover from work. So a text message. I sent a text message about 5 hours ago. It didn't seem to catch on. Ooh, now this is an interesting one. So if you've noted what our opponent has, so every time he gets energy, this creature gets bigger. So this is an interesting combination. Okay, hold on. That's my client calling back. Okay, just got back. I really should apologize to my opponent for that one. So, yeah, at this point, I'm just gonna draw a card, reveal a Merfolk, try that. So at this point, I'm gonna get run over by this big Glint Sleeve Siphoner. So my removal package is gonna come in, and yeah, so I wouldn't say work is easy, being an architect and all that. You have to be on call all the time. You have to be able to respond to your clients all the time. Okay, so thankfully, I did draw another Hinterland Harbor. Yeah, I'll just play the Jade Light Ranger. So basically, I'm going to end up chump blocking this Glint Sleeve Siphoner. And actually, this is okay. Kumena Speaker. Yeah, let's just ditch that one. No, we're not ditching that one. So, here's the irony. If I attack just to get damage in, as soon as this guy attacks, he gets 2 counters. This becomes a 7/6. Oh, okay, I can safely attack. But still not in our favor. So I'm gonna bring in my bounce spell. I'm gonna bring in both ambuscades. Yeah, this one is already showing. Okay. So my math is now wrong. I'm going to take even more damage. Yeah, so my math is wrong thanks to this Aether Hub. Gee, thanks. And he can even just pump this up to for even more value. So, Walking Ballista. So now I can't block with this. Let's see how he does it. Walking Ballista again. So he can ping all the way 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay, the math is good. I suppose I could let my opponent do the work, but I'm pretty sure this one's a given. Yeah, so it's a shame that our match is gonna end here. Oh wait. Oh yeah, he could just do it that way too. So okay, good game. So let's concede this one and go to the so we need to answer Walking Ballistas. We need to answer this. Okay, so we have a lot of things we need to answer. And okay, so Merfolk Tricksters come in. Blink of an Eye comes in. I suppose we can bring in the Swift Warden also. That's the immediate ones I can think of. Herald goes. Hadana's Climb goes. Nissa goes. So I brought in 3, 4, 5. I took out 3. I need to remove 2 more. Forerunner goes. Actually, you know what? Deep Root Waters comes in. So we need to drop the weaker cards. Deep Root Elites go. Let's check. I think that's... Okay, we're 1 card over. Probably drop the River Sneak. In fact, we might drop the River Sneaks in favor of... That's 1 Kopala in, River Sneak out. Okay, but we're now seeing the weakness of our setup here. We relied way too heavily on our creatures. So, if ever I have to redo it... Yeah, we're gonna need more... 1, we're gonna need more spells. 2, we're gonna need better removal. Unfortunately, the best removal blue has is Blink. I might have to even add okay, and unsummons are from... Okay, so at least I'm definitely keeping this hand as slow as it is. So, turn 3 Kopala. Actually, I could just do turn 3 Kumena also, I get. So we'll do Deep Root Waters first, depending on how fast our opponent's hand is. It's a shame I didn't think of the green-black energy build. Okay, so our decision is going to be based on what our opponent drops, but I'm probably going to just drop 1 Deep Root Waters anyway. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what our opponent drops next. I can get really greedy, drop a 2nd Deep Root Waters. Our only advantage is he hasn't dropped any of his key 2 drops. There's this 1 key 2 drop, Winding Constrictor. Hit our land drops, that's the good news. So... I think we can afford... I think we can afford to buy to get a little greedy here. Now, I don't know our opponent, so I'm just gonna take it as face value. So hopefully I can get another land. So Silvergill Adept into... Okay, so we got big creatures. We got the... Okay, so we're gonna take 4. So... Okay, we didn't get a land, but we did get Silvergill Adept into River Sneak. So we'll do just that. Reveal a Merfolk card. And reveal the River Sneak. Now thankfully there's no trample effects, but I wouldn't put it past our opponent to have it. So let's see. If we actually draw a land, this might be embarrassing. In fact, I should have tapped the Arch of Araska. Well, it's a land, but we're not getting completely wrecked by it. In fact, I'm gonna go full on greed mode. Though okay, that's really full on greed mode. So I can buff my army next turn. So combat. Actually, yeah, just pass the turn. There is no... Yep. Now this is where I have to wonder if I should have just played Kopala first. Combat. Attack. So he can attack with both. So I have to choose blocks. I'm gonna jump. Okay, and it's responded that. Then I'm just gonna pump the entire team. Actually, you could see this one coming from a mile away, but let's pump it anyway. Actually, let's not pump that. That's the offering. Wait, let's make sure... Let's make sure I'm... Yeah, that's the offering. Okay, let's make sure I pumped it correctly. Now, I'm pretty sure our opponent has a trick of some sort. At least we got rid of Rishkar. He might actually just get rid of Kumena at this point, but... Hey, at least I managed to get one trade off. Supernatural stamina. Okay, so it comes back. That's okay. So... Let's see. Tap another, can't be blocked. Okay, that's not... Okay, so not too bad. So next turn we play Kopala, we play River Sneak. So he gets it back. He might have wanted to play a creature first though, but heck, it's okay. At least these are tapped down, so these are free to swing, I guess. Depends on their... Okay, they're free to swing. Okay, so... Definitely... Forerunner first. So again, more Merfolk. So I don't know what our opponent has for a sweeper engine, but we might steal a game. Fingers crossed. Okay, Merfolk Mistbinder. Then we play River Sneak. So at least we have a few big creatures now. Okay. So combat. Attack. I will just attack with these. I will attack with these three. And then we end the turn. Now let's hope our opponent does. Okay. So at least. So we can tap to buff our entire team. That's the good news. Opponent should probably have some sort of removal by this point. Or some sort of big creature. Carnage Tyrant, maybe? Let's see. Ridgegale Tusker. Ooh, okay. So quite good, but he needs a Trample Suite. So definitely just chump blocking these guys. Well, the mana is wrong, so I'm not expecting another Supernatural Stamina, but I'm gonna chump block anyway. Okay. Okay, let's tap all those. Okay, my turn. So start with Kopala first. So this is basically what we call best case scenario, but this is probably not the most realistic scenario. So I think I definitely have enough attackers at this point. Yeah, our opponent's is not gonna keep a creature light hand next time. So, yep, too many triggers. I really apologize. Guess what? Even more triggers. But okay. But in combat, attack. Yeah, that was my timeout that got used. All attack. Let's just hold him back. Not. Let's just go straight to damage. Let's see if that's a fog effect. Okay, no fog effect. So at least we made sure to hold back just in case. Yeah, there are always. It's always the small things that will trap you up. Speaking of trap, this might be okay as is. I might want to run the Water Trap Weaver if he's playing a bunch of individual creatures. They might, because at least. But the thing is, Merfolk Trickster, I can ambush one of his Glint-Sleeve Siphoners, so I have that. The River Sneak is a one-off. That one is an interesting one. Yeah, he's gonna expect that, so I'm gonna probably. Keeping command speakers might be a bit of a stretch too, but you know what? Need to think. I could just replace these with Mistcallers if he's gonna have card effects like Supernatural Stamina. I think in fact he's probably using that to buy back the Walking Ballistas, so let's drop these, let's put these in, and let's put in another River Sneak. So no guarantees we're gonna win this last game, but at least we managed to take the game off our opponents. Just have to be very careful with this one. So this one, unlike our very first one, we don't have the benefit of an Adventurous Impulse, so definitely mulligan. Okay, this one is... Okay, we're looking for a green... Oh, okay, we got the blue source, so we got that one. So, Aether Hub, energy first. Usually not a great sign. So, we'll play this one. I might hold back the Merfolk Mistbinder since... Let's see what our opponent plays. Glint-Sleeve Siphoner. Okay, I'm gonna hold back. And I'm going to be a jerk about it. Well, to be fair, you can recast it again, but this was in a way a time walk. Basically, literally bought us a turn. It negated our opponent's turn. Kind of wish it negated this energy too. So we're definitely playing Jungleborn Pioneer next, now that our opponents... So, okay. So again, I'm gonna play the Jungleborn Pioneer. The next turn we can Mistbinder into Blink. I might actually just take the damage. We'll see how our opponent... Actually, no. If he attacks, I'm just gonna take the damage, even though he gets through, because I know I can hit for 5 next turn. Well, he is incentivized to remove. Okay. So he explores, draws a card. So he's deciding if he wants to offer the trade or not. Walking Ballista, X1. He can try to ping this if he wants to. So It's not. So we're gonna go for the damage now. Our opponent can choose to block or... Okay, he's gonna let it through. So I'm going to just be annoying and blink his Glint Sleeve Siphoner again. It's not a real answer per se, but it is keeping him down on cards. Well, he does have a swamp now, so it's gonna be so this is gonna be a so him spending energy is gonna be a non-issue at this point. I could just ambuscade in response, though. So next turn, Memorial to Genius. We could draw another land so that I can just tap this into cards. This is I originally had this as Memorial to Unity. In hindsight, that might be the correct play. Okay, so we lost that. He could crew in response, and we could lose the Jungleborn Pioneer. Or not. Oh, wait. No. It's not if it's crewed, so... So we're gonna attack anyway, since he's gonna start wiping my board. Again, we really need to start having better answers. So the Water Trap Weavers really did not belong to this one. I'd probably replace them with Rex Sages. Or trashing Brontodons. The Brontodons might be better as creatures. Actually, that's a decision could be made between those. I still need to figure that part out. If I shift the deck towards a little more balance, it's not mostly green, maybe the Rex Sage would be better. As it is, I'm green heavy, so trashing Brontodon might not be such a bad idea. It does double duty in holding off a good number of mono red decks too, with its 4 power. Okay, Verdua Scarehawk. Yeah, you have to target the distribute. So this little Merfolk's not gonna get anything done at this point. So at least we had a good showing with that last game. And 11. You can bring me down to 1. Let's see if he okay, it's not gonna bother bring me down to 1. This only Yep, this one is prom because the only survivor had hexproof anyway. Okay. So this really me just conceding at this point. And there we go. So I did my best. I guess my best wasn't good enough. But I guess that goes both for gameplay and deck building. I think my game 1 for this one could have been better. So we're gonna make a few changes. So I'm gonna make a few changes here. I'm gonna actually port this over to deck stats now. But okay, I got. I wonder how many more of these decks I need. At least it gave me Danithan among others. So 2 wins, 2 losses. At least we made our money back. I could use more of these for the red-white deck. Speaking of sideboard options. So we're gonna take a short break. I'm going to set up deck stats so that we can take a look at our deck. So I'll be back shortly once I export this deck. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go through this deck. I don't know. I don't think there's enough time for me to do another competitive constructed run, so I don't think I'll do a revenge match. But they do have a. But they do have constructed free play, so I competitive free construct free play. Oh, man, what's it called? They have competitive play. Yeah, I'll probably take it out for a run there. So let's do a quick analysis of the deck. And as you can see, our mana source distribution is quite good. We're slightly slanted towards green. So here, so what are the so let's fix our sideboard first. First, Water Trap Weaver didn't never became relevant. But we needed artifact and enchantment removal, so we'll probably want in the creature. Actually, do I want it in the creature format, or do I want it to just use it as an instant or sorcery? So let's set it to standard. So destroy and so we got several options. Gain 2 life might be okay. Being able to play another land, but you have to play it on your own turn. Being able to wreck lands is an option. I missed the one that just said destroy target non-creature, so having an option against planeswalkers would be good. Crushing Canopy gives us an option against flyers, but not artifacts. So I'm guessing, yeah, it's really just either naturalize. Actually, there's another option. Nope. I guess it's just either naturalize. Wait. Oh yeah, then there's the one that doesn't destroy. It just puts it at the bottom of the deck. Same cost as naturalize. That might be relevant too. But I probably would prefer to have creatures. Slice and twain to draw. I get to draw a card, but 4 mana is a bit too much. So I now have to decide between Trashing Brontodon and Reclamation Sage. I guess the Trashing Brontodon is better. Again, it does shore up the mono red matchup that I have a problem with. Swift Warden could become relevant, but let's drop the River Heralds boon. I was never going to use that either. Got okay, so we got copies of Blink. We could use more removal. I guess another copy of Ambuscade in the sideboard. Fight would be really great for us too, but let's see. I also need to consider making a version of this deck that is rotation safe. Actually, we do have version of this deck. It's actually in the one of the welcome decks for green blue. That is a possible option. Anyway, would I much rather have Ambuscade or Cartouche of Strength? Ambuscade, I kept this one because it was an actual fight, so I could actually just kill a creature outright without having to trade. Fight was a problem in itself. We're not dinosaurs, so Savage Stomp is out. So is Territorial Allosaurus. So keeping the Merfolk team, the problem is Merfolk are quite squishy in a sense. Our only pump guys are Merfolk Mistbinder. We had Deeproot Elites to buff our creatures, but it takes a while to get it set up. These guys are actually better late game than early game. So the Herald Secret streams kept getting cut out, so that one's gotta go. Kumena Speakers were okay, but I think those have gotta go too. We're pretty much a 2 mana deck at this point. So let's adjust the deck likewise. I think I'll put a third Ambuscade in. Actually, let's see if we have any return spells. Return hand. So we're looking for a decent bounce spell, something that gives us an extra benefit. Or something really cheap. Select for inspection might be an Wait, what's the decoction module? Oh. Enter. No, it's just creature you control, so that's a no. Disperse is just same thing. Drag under. Draws you a card, but it's a sorcery speed. Disappearing Act. Okay, it's just counter spell. Depths of Desire gives you a token, but we have no engine with that. Our creatures are generally cheap. Exclusion Mage, we can use that. Floodwaters late game. No, I need. If I'm gonna do a 6 mana spell, it would be something that just tapped everything. Sleep is an option, actually, now that I think of it. Actually, wait. Doesn't have to be sleep. Time of Ice, it's decent lockdown. It just costs 4. You could use this, actually. Okay, I might be onto something. Let's test this out. So, copies of Time of Ice. We have way too many creatures, that's the issue. So, oh yeah. We'll drop the Genius. Let's build up the Unity. Then we'll just make the Forest and Island an 8-8 split. Oh yeah, the actual deck we won't have Botanical Sanctum by then, so definitely Hinterland Harbor. So why's prepared to fight here? Okay, so Time of Ice. Do I want Song of Freyalise? Okay, Song of Freyalise. It takes a while. It gives all our creatures a +1/+1 counter. It makes them indestructible. Allows us to power out our hand. This is a possibility. Especially if we get Deep Root Waters running. Actually, yeah, let's bring the Deep Root Waters back into main deck. So that means we'll cut the... Let's see. Nissa, we only need to get her to... how much? Our highest is 4. We only need to get her to 4 loyalty. Sure, we could get 6 would be nice to ultimate, but 4 to just start putting things in the battlefield. That's... I think I never got to test her out. I'll keep it at that. The River Sneak might be a weaker link. Silvergill Adept, there's nothing while drawing cards. Do I want Song of Freyalise? Because here's one thing that kept happening. We kept having to play creatures one at a time. For us to get our 1-2 punch, we had to hit 4, 5 lands, 6 lands. Sometimes we made it, sometimes we didn't. In fact, if we can find a way to reduce our land count, that would be great. That would be a big benefit also. So let's give that a try. Let's keep the times of... I'm gonna put Song of Freyalise in the sideboard. Let's put another Time of Ice main. We are running 24 lands. So I think I want to try to cut down to 23, but it's a bit scary. I could just cut out the Adventurous Impulse, but it did help me out sometimes. In fact, probably just cut out the time. Actually, I think the Time of Ice should be in the sideboard. The Song of Freyalise should be in the main board. So this is probably how our setup should be. I'm still dubious about Adventurous Impulse. It is card draw. It does draw us. It does draw us out of several problems. But I might rather just have... Let's put the high... Let's go back to... Yep. Let's go back to hieroglyphic illumination. So we're gonna rename this one. Let's see, do we have enough time to run this deck through? Okay. Yeah, we got some time. Sorry to make you have to see all that. So we've adjusted the curve. Our curve's a little bit better now. Land base is better. It matches up nicely. Kopala could be. Kopala's actually main deck material, but not always. That is I think I feel better with this one. In fact, other additions we could do, evolving wilds, we can use it to cut some of these lands. We already have 2 Memorial to Unity, but knowing that our first land drop is not, we don't need to have mana straight immediately turn 1, gives us some options. We can actually cut some of these in favor of evolving wilds. So that is a possibility. But anyway, that's our take on this deck. You know what? Let's see if we can take this for a spin. So let's see how does this work. How do you export this deck? I don't need it. Deck tools, download deck. Okay, let's see. What is download deck? Oh, you can download as a text file. Perfect. Let's download it like that. So I learned something new today. First time I actually had to do it this way. So let's copy this out. And we're gonna see how it works, because I know we are missing 1 land for certain. So we're gonna go to decks. We're gonna import it successfully. It's the imported deck, and you see there's a red mark, so it tells us something is wrong. So let's see what happens if we it gives us an option to use wild cards, or we're missing an ambuscade. Okay, it tells us what we're missing. So we're missing an ambuscade. Oh, it's just common. Okay, we can use that. We're missing 2 ambuscades actually. So okay, first let's put the Botanical Sanctum in, since that's my substitute. That's my substitute pinch hitter. Then we'll use wild cards to... And it tells you what wild cards are going to get used. Wait. It did use them, right? Okay. Took a while. Takes a while to actually... It takes a while to actually use your wild cards. That's a bit strange. Maybe there's no animation for it yet. Actually, while I'm waiting for this one to be fixed. Okay, wait. Just drop that out. I hope I didn't lose that one. Okay, ambuscade. Yeah, I should have a 4th cop. I really should have checked earlier to see if I lost that card or not. That was a weird one. So yeah, I just saw something in the blue side. Let's take a quick look before I decide to give this one shot. Field inspection. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna rename this deck. So the River Heralds. Now I'm missing the land, so this is essentially just 2.9, but you get the idea. And yeah, I guess this can be Commander this time. So then it lets you save the deck properly. I'm going to give it one shot in competitive play. So yeah, I'm not gonna commit this to a competitive run. So basically, this would be it for my week. When you start the week again, it's going to be another draft. But I'm right now wondering what content am I going to do next. I could remodel the monocolored deck list, or I could actually what I want to do is I want to start trying out all the welcome decks, the two colored ones. And okay, speaking of this, I'm definitely keeping this one first. Island, now here you go. I have options with this one, so I can cycle this one if I have to, depending on the matchup. Now that said, I am a bit action light. Okay, I guess there's no rush then. Especially... So let's see what our opponent has. If this is a control deck, this might be an issue for our opponent. Okay, white-blue control. We need to hold up Blink. That's the sad thing. Opponents. Or I could just let him cast the seal away, then I can just... Well, I could blink it in response if... It's a bit scary though. You know what? Let's just attack. Let's see what he's willing to do. Okay, he's not willing to do it. So I really am curious what flavor of control deck this is. Okay. Now, it's a bit disingenuous to say that the moment I see white-blue, it's automatically control. For all I know, this could easily be a Flyers deck. It's only that if it was a Flyers deck, I would have seen a Flyer by now. So I'm just gonna beat down with my 9-turn clock here. Let's see if we can draw some cards off in the process. If our opponent plays something in flash, I can draw something in response. Okay, so just attack. I just need to weigh out what is more important here. Okay, so he's actually just taking the damage. So I'm really curious as to what he has in his hand. This is... I would not call this normal at all. Could be possible our opponent's afraid we have counters. Oh, okay. So he's gonna dig for something. Yeah, I'm just gonna hieroglyphic in response. Let's just draw the cards now. It's not like I have an actual counter. In fact, I don't have much of it. I don't have much this time. Actually, green-blue could have easily been an energy deck. Sure, it's a big loss having a tune with Aether. It's a green mana sorcery spell. 1 green mana. It allowed you to put a land in, search your library for basic land, put it in your hand, and give you two energy. Turns out 2 is too much. Maybe it might not have been banned if it was 1. Or 2 energy, but the thing costs 2 mana. So the way our opponent's playing, it's as if he's land light. So you should expect another land at this point. But right now, this has gotta be the loneliest Merfolk Mistbinder. It's a fish without a school. And I really don't know what's up on our opponent's end. Could be something's up, I guess. Actually, I need to check what time is it. Okay, it's not that bad. Okay, finally played this 4th land. He just needs to have something. Anything. Probably reasonable removal would be something like cast out and whatnot. But I guess something is really up. Now, considering the state of the beta right now, this could be almost anything. So it's very hard to judge our opponent harshly. I'll admit I might have been harsh a few times when just because the opponent literally was about to lose on that turn. This one, however, is a bit unnatural. Our opponent is nowhere near losing at all. He's got his mana. He just has to play something. I might check the Discord. I might check. I joined a few Facebook groups. For all I know, our opponent might be holding on to 11 lands. Okay. Let's play forest. Go into combat. Okay. Now, this one honestly could mean anything at this point. So watching the paint on our opponent's timeouts is not exactly the greatest thing in the world, but actually I personally would have. Okay, so there's no auto concede yet. In fact, this one's a. In fact, I don't think this is the best use of these, considering our opponent literally has no timeouts anymore at this point. I'm actually curious what it sounds like on our opponent's end. Yeah, for this to keep running, I guess it's another take. This I haven't been reading up on the patch notes recently. If our opponent, on the assumption that our opponent is bad-mannered and just literally leaves us hanging, this is actually even more annoying. There has to be an invincible. So it has to be okay. There's the invisible counter of sorts, and that's a double kill. So, well, I was gonna take it for a try spin, but it didn't work out that well. So, well, thanks for the 100 gold, but we still haven't exactly shown off this deck as much. Also at 1 gig, so tell you what, if I don't come up with anything new, we will have a revenge run with this deck. This is not I really want to do another one, but this time the timing doesn't seem appropriate anymore, because it's possible we could run into something big. So, you know what, I'll just leave. I'll just call this a day for now. At least we did get a decent last game on our competitive constructed run. So that's it for this episode. If you liked what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Please don't forget to leave notifications and whatnot. And that's pretty much it for this week. So I'm still gonna figure out what I'm going to do next week. I might just be stretching for time. It's only a few more weeks until we get the Guilds of Ravnica out. We'll see what happens then. I sure hope that I know people are saying that they might do a wipe. I actually hope they don't. If they do a wipe, well, actually they could do a wipe. I'm just really curious what will happen. Like, do I have to fight for the welcome decks all over again? Ugh, I shudder at the thought of that. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.